Raquel, I've been seeing pictures of you like on the beach and with people and fans really here in Brazil. I imagine there is no way that a fight week isn't at all stressful, but through all of this, like, are you able to make it a fun experience as well?
Most definitely. You know, I mean, we got here kind of early, so why not have a mental break? I feel like if you kind of think about the fight the entire time, it's just mentally draining. There's go time for that, so you kind of just got to relax and have fun.
I would imagine there are like nerves involved in going into a cage with another human person in any occasion, but when it's a title fight, like does it change anything for you, or are the nerves different at all this time around?
You know, I feel really confident about this fight. I just feel really confident in my skills and my abilities. And, you know, I did a lot of soul searching, I guess you can say, throughout this fight camp. I've probably experienced every emotion that you can possibly think of. It's been an extremely long camp, but then I kind of went back to my roots and thought about everything. And I was like, you know, I mean, I started this with a goal and a passion, and this is just one of the goals, and it still goes from here. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the nerves are going to come, but for me, it's like I always say, when you're feeling the nerves, it just means your body's ready and you're excited. So you just kind of got to put everything into a positive aspect.
Yeah. Since you talked about soul searching, I remember you said something about when you fought Holly Holm, about maybe how you were saying something about how you lost your own mind, right? Like it was more about that than anything else, and that you kind of had to change that. And we saw the results of that change, but what went into that? Like, what was your mind? Why do you think your mindset was a little bit off at the time, and how did you work on really improving that aspect, because it's a huge one?
You know, it was kind of just one of those things that at some point I fell in love with this sport, and I was just extremely passionate. I was having fun all the time. It was always throwing challenges at me, and that's what made it exciting, something new every single day. And then at some point it just became seriously like a job. It became just kind of going into the gym. I wasn't having fun in trainings. I wasn't having fun leading up to the fight. I was falling into all the pressure of media, the hype train, the trash talking, whatever it may be. It just, I kind of lost focus of everything that got me to where I'm at. So, you know, I had to sit back, and when I fought Holly, it was just one of those things before I even walked in that octagon, I was just kind of mentally broken. And it was one of the weirdest fight camps. It was one of the weirdest fight weeks. And then after that, I just kind of sat back and I was like, you know what, I either need to walk away from the sport or I need to find a way to fall back in love. And from there, that's been my mission, just to have fun, just to fall back in love. And I fell back in love with everything, and I was on a mission with my winning streak. And then, you know, I mean, I had some setbacks, but even in that, I kind of see it as a blessing in disguise, just because of the fact that it gave me a chance to grow mentally, physically, emotionally, and just realize a lot of different things. And the hunger and the drive and the passion really came back when I was taken out of something for so long. So now that I just get to have this opportunity, I'm nothing but excited.
How important was that you talked about how it was a blessing in disguise, but I can imagine that it's a very challenging experience for someone who you're so used to just using your body for everything, like having it be your life, and then having to exist without that for a little while. So how important was it for you to go through that time? How important was having that stronger mindset to get through what could have been really challenging time?
You know, it's extremely important. It's just kind of, the way that I always put it is, your body is just a vessel of your mind. So it's really important to train your mind in whatever it is. And then, you know, a lot of the time, I mean, you're not going to get anywhere in life if you're just sitting on the negative. And so the time that I had off, if that's all I focused on, you guys wouldn't see me back here right now. But, you know, I mean, there's just, I had all that time to grow, just to realize everything. And then when I got to watch Tisha just perform, you know, it made me more passionate about things and excited to get out there when I got to watch all my other friends training. But then same token, it was extremely frustrating because I just wanted to be able to do that too. So now just, you know, I mean, having this opportunity, coming back to the biggest fight of my career, I mean, what's more exciting than that?
And what I know that you do journaling a lot. What kept you going at the time, in the sense of what did you think, or what did you write, or what did you tell yourself when the days weren't so good, when you got too frustrated? You know, what was the thing that you told yourself to keep going and to you know, remind yourself that that was just a phase and that it was gonna end?
You know, I'm blessed to be surrounded by an extremely supportive family, a very supportive fiance, and then my coaching staff they're just one of a kind. So everybody, they're the ones that kept me extremely motivated, kept me grounded. And on times that was just rough for me, I think everybody just kind of let me have my rough moments. But then, you know, after my leg injury, I just kind of realized that life can always be worse. Yeah. And when they told me things that could have happened, I just kind of sat back and I was like, you know what, this is frustrating for me, but there's so much more struggles in life. And there's people that are going through plenty of different struggles. So it was kind of just one of those things to where I just needed to ride the wave and I needed to embrace the journey through it. And that's kind of what I did. And, you know, I mean, the days got better from there, and it was just about finding the positive in every single day.
And we talked about it, like right as you were about to come back, you were fairly confident that the title shot was going to be yours. And then there was the whole Cyborg conversation, and we also talked a little bit about that and how that really got your, you know, blood boiling a little bit, but everything was worked out. Still, I think at first, a lot of the conversation around the fight, you're the one fighting, but a lot of the questions and a lot of the talk is still like the fight that isn't happening instead of the fight that is happening. Was that at all frustrating for you?
You know, I mean, I got frustrated, but at the same token, what can I really control there? It's something that this sport has become a lot of entertainment too, and I feel like that is a fight that is a lot of entertainment. I mean, we've talked about how it didn't make any sense to me, and the fight that makes sense is the one that's happening Saturday. So, you know, I just kind of rolled with it. I answered the questions about it, but my opinion still hasn't changed with that. And I think that the 135-pound division has a lot of talent. So the fact that they're just kind of bypassing and they're seeing two girls from two different weight divisions, that was what was more frustrating. I feel like everybody's grinding, everybody's working really hard, and if I myself wasn't able to have this opportunity, there's another 135er out there who should have the opportunity.
Got it. And you also talked a little bit about this. You're not unfamiliar with the position of being an underdog, right? It's not something you've been there before. And you also said that you're not coming into this with a chip on your shoulder because of that. But at the same time, the odds are like really overwhelmingly on Amanda's favor. You know, how is that for you? Do you look at that at all? Do you pay attention to that at all? Does that motivate you in a way? How do you know, go about being such a massive underdog here?
You know, I don't pay attention to any of that. And I mean, there can be a lot of factors that come into it. And on top of that, I mean, a lot of people, they're playing this whole part on the long layoff I've had. They're playing a big part of being in our home country. Just the fact that Amanda has been the champion and everybody's always underestimated me, but it doesn't change anything, you know? I mean, I've worked hard for this opportunity, I deserve it, and in my opinion, I'm the better fighter walking into this one. So, you know, it's just for me, I feel like she's the one that has more pressure. She's the one that, you know, she's fighting in front of her home country and stuff like that. She has a lot more expectation on her. For me, it's just passion, it's fun, and I'm just gonna go out there and be me.
And you're saying you're very confident. You look very confident, and you're going up against a very dominant champion who hasn't lost all that much in her career, really. But you also have you're coming off a streak as well. You have your skill set. What do you feel like you bring to the table here? What do you think that you can offer Amanda that maybe her previous competition hasn't?
I think that I'm a fighter that brings something that Amanda's never experienced. I think. At the end of the day, I mean, Amanda, she has great striking, but you know, I have better striking. I feel like I bring more of a brawling style, and I could take a punch. And so, I mean, she wants to sit here and give me one punch. I'll take one punch to give her three. And on top of that, I think that I'm the better wrestler. And then the ground game, you know, a lot of people categorize me as this brawler, but they haven't seen my well-rounded game. And that's one thing that I feel like makes me extremely dangerous.
Do you think, like, is there a scenario in your head that seems more likely, going by your styles and your game plan?
You know, a fight's a fight. I can sit here and I go through lots of clips all the time and visualize a million different things. But at the end of the day, I can't sit here and tell you how a fight's going to play out. I can tell you how I want it to play out. But, you know, I'm more than prepared for 5 rounds. I'm more than prepared to dominate 5 rounds. And, you know, if it's just for me, it's about, you know, like I said, I mean, the striking, I feel like I can outstrike her all day. I can take the punches that she's going to give. When it comes to the wrestling, I believe that I'm stronger and I'm a lot better in that aspect as well. And then my ground game, nobody's been able to see that. And she may be a black belt and all this other stuff, but when it comes to MMA, I mean, it's a whole different ball game down there. So, you know, I feel like I bring a completely different challenge, and I think everything that plays into the fight, it's going to make for an extremely exciting fight.
And I think when you talk to fighters about the idea of the belt, of course, it's what all of you guys want, but I think some people are more invested on the idea, or more just they give more weight to the symbolism of it all. Like, and my question is to you, like, what does it implicate? What does the belt mean to you?
You know, I mean, it's a title fight, but it's kind of the same thing when I went to the Ultimate Fighter. There was a huge opening there for my career and for me to really kickstart things and to have this opportunity to start being in the light and to be able to have the opportunity to be on the biggest stage in the world. And that was exciting. But if I fell behind all that, I don't think I would have gotten to where I'm at just because of the pressure. So it's the same thing. I mean, this is one of the, as they put it, the highest profile fight of my career. But for me, the title belt is just a reward. Yeah. I feel like I'm already a champion. I feel like I've already done the things to get here, and I definitely belong here. So, you know, at the end of the day, just to see the belt for me is something just to prove more to myself. Just that the champion that's everybody has already seen in me, that my family, my friends, all my loved ones have seen, that's just for me to show myself. And, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's also just, I can't even explain it. It's a very exciting feeling. But I guess to a certain degree, I've kind of really taken that pressure off. So my ultimate goal is just, you know, getting my hand raised. That's the ultimate goal. And then I can't even explain the feelings that'll come behind it once the belt goes around my waist.
What happens after, whether it's I just want to stay active and get a lot of fights, I want to do super fights, I want to defend it all, like, do you have plans for after the belt?
You know, I feel like for me, I'm the type of person that I'm just so goal-oriented and ambitious that sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm stressed out because I just don't know where to begin. I just have one too many goals. And really that's, I guess, not a problem, but it can be overwhelming. So right now, I mean, the ultimate goal was just to get my first fight, and then I got my first fight, and then I was like, okay, you know what, I want to do this in my amateur career, and then I want to go pro, and then I went pro, and then I wanted to get signed with Invicta, and then I did that, and it was just like the list never ends. Like, opportunities just keep presenting itself, and so I just keep adding more. And you know, this isn't just for me, it's a world title fight, and for me, I'm doing something, I'm chasing a dream and a passion. But at the same token, you know, I mean, throughout my camp and stuff, my coaches have been like, okay, 5th round, like, this is, give it your all, this is for the world title, you're 5 minutes away from getting the belt wrapped around you. But for me, it's just about building a legacy, building a story, something that I can have later in life to where I can share with kids, where I can, you know, I'm inspiring people just by being me and having fun. So it's like, it just, you know, the world title, it's something for me and it's something to share, but it's also a life-changing event, not just for me, but everybody who surrounds me.